DC superhero movies used to set the bar for like superhero movies. Music wise, action wise, box office wise, all of that. They were head and shoulders above the competition. Now, if you go back to when they started making these movies and putting them out in a way that they, were accepted by the public and became successful, then you're going back to the late 70s on that. If you go back to the 70s with Marvel, you see a lot of trash for decades. Trash. Okay. Now, a lot of people that watch Marvel these days don't know that. They're not too familiar with that. But a lot of us who grew up on DC stuff, that's just what it was. We gravitated to DC a lot easier. I mean, they had the dopest characters and they were everywhere. We saw them everywhere. They had cartoons, they had TV shows, but so did Marvel characters, and we liked them too. It's just that when the movies came out, it was DC that was really paving the way for a lot of stuff. I think when Marvel really began to shine was when Wesley Snipes did Blade, and that just changed a lot of things. And so we got to a point where when Batman the Dark Knight, when the Dark Knight came out, that movie made $1 billion. And it was the first time a superhero movie did that. Big deal. Very big deal. Because it was unexpected. Then you fast forward a little bit and you get a series of movies coming out that becomes a multi-billion-dollar franchise because it's just one movie after the other coming out behind each other in the same line of stories. And people wanted to keep up on that, and it was superhero stuff. And so people were very excited. But a lot has changed since that first $1 billion superhero movie because the focus became trying to make $1 billion with superhero movies. That wasn't the focus before. The focus was just to give us a solid movie. Today, what they like to do is they like to take all these elements and smash them into a movie to ensure that an entire family is going to want to get up and go see this movie. When The Dark Knight came out, they were not pandering to families and children. Okay, now they made $1 billion because they delivered a solid project, excuse me. You know what I mean? Everybody just loved it. It wasn't all on its own. It was in big part to Batman Begins, which is still my favorite Batman movie. However, this movie did crush it at the box office, made $1 billion. Okay, so The Dark Knight was something special. Now, you could blame it on the death of Heath Ledger and all that, but you can't deny that his performance was great. Everybody's performance was great. I almost said Danny Elfman. Gary Oldman, his performance was great. Two-Face, Aaron Eckhart, his performance was great. Okay, it wasn't just Joker, right? There were things that were happening in this movie. It was just phenomenal, and it was great to see. People wanted to go back and see it again. And it had nothing to do with jokes, bright colors, nothing that we started to hear about later, that people claim that they need in every superhero movie. No, it was just about Batman trying to track down this maniacal dude that nobody could peg, nobody could understand him. People loved it, man. Now, with every movie, it's like run of the mill stuff. It's like checking off boxes, and then like every YouTuber now, oh, is this movie gonna make $1 billion? Oh, that's all they talk about now. Now I understand it's 20 years after, almost 20 years after that initial $1 billion superhero movie, but that was special. That was very special, when it happened, because it wasn't like they were trying to target anybody other than Batman fans. It just worked. It was like the response to that sequel. You know what I mean? Like that was on some James Cameron shit. And Nolan, he was already revered as a director, but after that, oh man, everybody wanted a piece of that. Oh, please, let's get Nolan over here doing this. Oh, Nolan, Nolan, Nolan. You know? Then we fast forward to Snyder. Snyder crushed it with Man of Steel. People was acting funny. But by that time, this is a year after the first Avengers movie, and we had a formula now for superhero movies that just people claim needed to be followed. They ain't saying that now with James Gunn. They acting like he can just do whatever he want. But these sticklers out there, this is what they were clinging to. Oh, it has to be this way. You have to do that first. You have to do all this. And then just whatever. The extended universe is too much for them to handle, obviously. It's too big. So, I don't know, man. But I just wish that DC could get back to form and just try to create like solid movies, man. Stop trying to be whatever Marvel is. Stop trying to chase behind them. You was setting the bar. They was chasing you. Now, everything don't gotta be uniform. Like superhero movies should absolutely not be the same across the board. They should be different. And we used to get that with DC. We used to get variety. Now they just trying to fit into the same thing that they see, that they think is what is successful about these movies, and they just keep trying to shove that into their movies. And it's making everything boring. And that's all I have to say about that. I wish we can get back to just focusing on making solid scripts, trying to focus on some cool trilogies or whatever, or just a movie, a standalone movie that is good. People obviously want to watch these characters, and they're willing to pay to go see them. If you focused on making good movies, then you'll make the money that you're trying to make. I mean, that's just that. That's all that we need to try to understand.
I mean, what happened? Did your balls drop off?